All right, this one's a bit weird. I have the Bigme InkNote Color Lite. I think, full disclosure, Bigme did send me this unit to review, but I do not take any compensation to make these review videos. It's an e-ink note-taking tablet with a color display, and I'll cut right to the chase. This is not for everybody, and the price reflects that. At about 500 bucks, it's a lot to pay for a device that feels like you're using decade-old technology. This is a niche device for people who want an e-ink display that can do handwriting, has a backlit screen, and can also use third-party apps like Kindle and OneNote, but in color. I am one of those people. If you want the unique combination of color e-ink and handwriting tablet, there's only a few devices out there that can do it, and this is one of them. There's some features I really love here, but they come with some pretty big trade-offs that are likely to turn many users away. Let me show you why. The first question, what exactly is this thing? The lock screen is a mix of English and Chinese, and the marketing is kind of confusing. If you go to Bigme's website, there's a bunch of different products that all sound kind of the same, and they're priced very close together. And that confusion seems to bleed through the user experience. I'm going to power this thing on with a fingerprint reader. Yeah, it's got one of those, and I'm taken to the home screen that shows me all of my apps. Yes, apps, because this thing actually runs Android 11 and can download apps from the Google Play Store. Opening up a comic book, you can see it's in color, but keep your expectations in check because it's still an e-ink display, so the colors and resolution are nowhere near that of LCDs. Still though, there are options for backlight brightness, both red and blue channels, and you can even turn the blue channel off entirely, which I really enjoy for night reading. There's also the option to change the refresh settings, which I've set to HD 256 and comic mode here. I swipe up on the bottom left to go back to the home screen, which is one of the strangest I've ever encountered. There's even a user guide app just to explain the interface, which is a must read. But what's the note-taking situation like? Well, it does come with a stylus that attaches to the side and works with most note-taking apps. I'm using Bigme's Notes app here, which has some different options like brush and pencil modes. It works pretty well. The tablet has a matte surface, but doesn't quite feel like you're writing on paper like the Remarkable. The stylus has customizable function buttons and nibs that you'll need to change out over time. Notes can be synced to Bigme's free cloud app, but I'm kind of sketched out here because it's in Chinese. That's why I've been using OneNote, which syncs to my Microsoft account, but other popular note-taking apps like Evernote should work too. The weird thing for me is this is an Android tablet, so you can download apps and even browse the web. But because it's an e-ink display, it's slow, and that can be frustrating when you're used to looking at your phone. See, if I open up the New York Times app here, it lags a bit when scrolling and loading content, which can be pretty jarring at first, and that's pretty much the case across the board. But I can almost forgive all that because this feels almost as good as reading a newspaper or a book. This is where the e-ink display shines. There's very little glare with the matte screen, and the colors do look like they're printed right there. Sure, it's desaturated, but the backlight makes it easy to read in dark environments without the headache-inducing bright light. Take that, iPad. Couple other features here. It's got 2 cameras, front and rear. Don't know why you'd want a selfie camera, but it's there. A USB-C port for charging, an SD slot for expandable storage, 4 microphones on the top, and speakers on the side. Like I said earlier, this is a weird device, but I kind of love it. Most people don't really care about e-ink tablets and are going to be just fine with an iPad, which is objectively the better piece of technology for the same price. Or they're going to get a Remarkable if they just care about taking notes. But for us weirdos out there who have been waiting for the unique combination of color e-ink screen, note-taking, and third-party apps, this is one of the only devices that can do it. Otherwise, you're looking at the Books tablets, which seem to be very similar, but maybe a bit pricier, but I don't know, I haven't used those yet. I have a hard time recommending this device to somebody who isn't me because I'm not sure if they would get it. It's a lot of money and it's not a good tablet, but as an e-ink device, it's fantastic. Does that make sense? For all you e-ink nerds out there, if you know, you know. Thanks for watching.